hosted by Tony Gapperstone. Thanks for tuning in. It's showtime.
Hey, it's episode 323 coming at you live from Redwood City, California. I'm Tony Gapperstone. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm in the Bay Area. Did I say that? I'm an actor. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a writer, director. And every week I get to talk to other people who are doing those same things, making movies, telling stories, making waves in the entertainment industry. And today I get to talk to somebody who has a film premiere coming March 2026 to the Bay Area's Cinequest Film Festival, a film festival that is near and dear to my heart, as we had a film, my very first feature film, Last Chance Charlene, there. And the cool thing is there's so many interconnections in this podcast that we're going to talk about that make entertainment industry work so important when it comes to relationships. So I want you to meet the filmmaker, the writer, and director, and one of the stars of a new film called Party USA, coming to Cinequest. Hey, guys.
Howdy.
Hey.
How you doing, Tony?
Hey, good. Glad you're here. Phillip, turn around. Let's start the show with your back.
Okay, so these guys, so Tony and Jared, we got on. They're like, you're wearing your Michael Jackson jacket, but I was telling them it's nerdier than that. This is from an anime called Akira. I'm going to show you. Those who
Classic.
Know, right? You can see?
All the Akira fans. Okay, just wanted to start the show. If you're just listening, it's a red, cool leather jacket that we, both Jared and I, thought maybe was a Michael Jackson throwback, but it's not. So just want to get that out of the way to start.
Yeah,
okay.
Character Tetsuro for the nerds out there.
All right. Well, we are going to nerd out a little bit on filmmaking. You all have a feature film called Party USA coming to Cinequest March 15th and 17th. It's a Sunday and a Tuesday. So mark your calendars. We're going to be putting ticket links and stuff in the chat so you can go. I got an advanced screening of it. But writer-director Jared Sprouse, star Phillip Andre Botello. Let's talk about this movie, the making of it, what it's about. You're saying a lot of stuff. Let's go.
Yes.
Well, first,
yes.
Let's introduce yourself, Jared, to the people so they could get used to your voice.
Yeah. No. My name is Jared. Jared Sprouse. I'm a filmmaker from the South, and do a little everything. Like we talked about, hyphenates, writer, director, producer, editor, VFX, poster designer.
Oh, nice.
Like a little bit of everything. Not this poster, but the one that's on the thing.
My man.
But you kind of have to be for micro budget nowadays, you know.
Sure do. Yeah, the multi-hyphen. We're doing this whole thing in April called the multi-hyphenate summit because that's the reality right now. It's a privilege to just. I think, Phillip, you just get to do a lot of acting. You work your butt off. But for a lot of us, we have to do it all. We're writing, we're directing, we're producing. So you wrote and directed and produced Party USA. You did it in Atlanta, yeah?
Yes. Well, you say Atlanta, but it's such a sprawl. Like we kind of shot like an hour outside of the city this way, an hour outside the city that way, a little bit all over. But yeah.
And Party USA. Let's hear the log line because it's a unique log line.
Oh gosh, I feel it's what is it when Taylor can't get her party store shift covered after her father's untimely passing, she makes a deadly mistake that ends up in red, white, and blue
chaos.
Red, white, and blue collared chaos.
White? Oh, I didn't get that. Red, white, and blue collared chaos. Masterful. Really masterful.
That was great, Jared. That was the money.
Yes, it was the money. Let me tell you, the way this film starts, I texted Phillip. I was like, best start to a movie ever.
I got your text and I was like, okay, he's watching. He's in.
So good.
Yeah.
So great. I gush over Phillip all the time. Let's back up a little bit. I met Phillip at Cinequest when Cinequest, he's like a Cinequest darling. You've been there. How many years in a row have you been there?
Oh, wow. This will be, I think, my 5th film there. And shout out to Cinequest because that's how I met you.
Yep.
Shout out to Cinequest. I met you through Sean and that whole program.
Did you meet
Cinequest.
Did you meet Jared at Cinequest or no?
No.
You guys, okay,
No.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
So I met you at Cinequest like maybe 4 years ago, and then this was the film something Lane. What was it? No, it was
Wait,
like you were
Fallen
Drive. I was like Lane. No, Fallen Drive.
Close.
Oh my gosh, I was like, this guy is so great. Then I had you on the podcast, and I just followed you around and watched all your stuff. I'm like, oh, so talented. Honestly, dude, I think you are so believable, so grounded. So when I was casting this other feature that I was doing, not the one that I had at Cinequest, that maybe hopefully this one will be at Cinequest someday, I was like, oh, I gotta get Phillip into this. So I love working with you, Phillip. You're great. And then Jared, good casting on him because
Yes,
I just watch you, dude. I watch you. I'm like, you are so engaging to watch, and I hope this is a compliment, but you're so sweaty in this film. I freaking love it, dude. You're so sweaty. The camera's so here and close. It is like, oh my gosh, I love it. You're so real. It feels so Southern. And again, the way the film starts, you got him sweating a lot. You got him doing a lot of things to get him sweaty. So good work, everybody. Go see this at Cinequest. But Party USA, I thought, oh, I'm gonna watch a movie about people who like to party. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be party culture, but it's not. It's actually USA culture.
Yes, very USA culture. Well, it's funny you say that because I feel like on set, because we didn't really have a dedicated makeup artist, right? For the
real
thing.
Sweat.
So,
He's saying it's all real.
It's all real.
And listen, that's my thing. Like whenever I'm on camera, I tell people, I'm like, yo, I get super shiny, I get super sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of the scenes it helped, but it was all real stuff. Yeah. Apologies to our star Ainsley, because I was like sweating all over and stuff and just crazy.
He's a contractor in the movie, so he's working with his hands. He's some hard work.
He's a Mexican. I mean, he's a Puerto Rican contractor.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all, you can watch that in the trailer. I think the trailers or there's a clip out there somewhere.
I have a little clip out on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
And so, gosh, okay. So I could gush and I could nerd out and geek out, and I don't know how much we can or you want to, but let's talk about some of those things, because that clip where you posted about he's Puerto Rican, not Mexican, came out around the same time as the Bad Bunny Super Bowl stuff.
Yeah.
Well done, Jared. Well done.
Yeah, real smart. That was real smart, Jared, to do that, because I was definitely dialed in to what was happening there and the conversation going on in the country about boycotting Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. But let's talk about that. Your film, Party USA. Let's talk about the why and the how and everything.
Well, I mean, it was always kind of important. I mean, the South is probably like the most diverse region almost in the entire country to me. And so I always thought I wanted that to reflect the actual film and the store. I worked a lot in hospitality outside of the film industry. And I always found it so odd because, I'd work in places where they would have very strict rules where, oh, we want you to speak English the whole time. And then the entire kitchen's Hispanic, every single person's like traveled halfway across the world, and they don't even realize how diverse Latin America actually is most of the time. And I think there's definitely my dad, when he lived in New Mexico, would tell people, oh yeah, I'm from New Mexico. And they're like, where's that? Oh, it's America. There's no, but yeah, and it's funny. And also, that's about it.
You got a lot of dark humor
in
this film. Like a lot of film festival stuff, sometimes you get a log line, you get a title, and you show up, you don't know what you're going to watch. I was really surprised watching this, because I didn't know where it was going to go, and that's really fun.
That's good.
Because you think when you start watching a movie, like, sorry, downer reality. I lost my dad about a year ago, so I'm like, oh, it's going to be a movie about grief, and it is, but not in the way that I said. Like, oh, I did not. Okay, oh, I didn't see that, Taylor. Okay, Taylor. So I think you play a lot with the audience, and I think this will be a really fun movie to watch in the theater. And even like, oh my gosh, the way that it ended, there's one moment where I felt my whole body like tingle a little bit. I was like, no, okay, all right. And then I just kind of sat there. I was like, again, not where I thought it was going. So many things I want to talk about.
Yeah. Was that moment? I'm curious. Was that moment towards the end or the middle?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
End.
Okay. Yes.
End.
Yes.
I think we were talking about.
Yeah.
One thing I've done a lot of test screenings with the film, with like not just friends, but like friends of friends of friends. You know, because you can kind of get a feel. That's how you can rewatch it for the first time again.
Sure.
You know, as the editor, you like see it 1,000 times, but you know, I remember I was in the audience, you know, and then I just hear like 5, you know, like half a dozen gasps, you know, like towards the end. I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that, you know, but like it's nice to feel that in the room for sure. It's funny you say that with the opening scene though, because I always kind of said like it's not a dead dad movie, right? It's not the Sundance like my dad's passed away and the family's reconnecting over grief. That's not what the movie is at all.
Right.
And the film kind of came from two places because I had the initial idea for the first scene and I was like, that's an interesting way to open a movie.
Very.
All right, but I didn't want to tell a dead dad movie, but I was like, where does this go after this? And my friend Barrett had worked at like a Party City in community college way back when. So I kind of fleshed out the story with him and put a lot of my like personal pain from like working in hospitality sort of into the piece, into like this little southern rural party store, you know, / fireworks store. I didn't set out to make like the most American film ever of all time or anti-American, but I feel like it's in the not many 4th of July movies. There's just not many 4th of July movies.
God, I'm for it. I am here to talk about America, to talk about how cinema can create conversations. And Phillip, as an actor playing an ethnicity on camera that is kind of joked about or misappropriated, let's talk a little bit about that, because again, you're pulling back a little bit in this movie, some of these tropes and cliches and microaggressions, and that isn't always comfortable to do, right? And you know, I appreciate that you're doing that. I appreciate that this film is sort of poking the bear a little bit to make us look inward. So, and I've worked with Phillip. I know Phillip is very participatory and engaging, and he comes with things, and he's got ideas, and he's flowing. We're like, all right, we're gonna go that way because that's where Phillip's going. So let's talk about that, Phillip, on set and creating this character and working in this space, this wild space of dark humor and satire on America.
Yeah, it was great. Well, the first thing is Jared is crazy. So
yes. In what way? What do you mean? Say more.
I mean,
say more.
The writing is it's very vivid. It jumps off the page. And I'll be honest, when I got this, I got sides for this like anything else, and it really it popped off the page. And I said, this is probably one of the most interesting things I've read. And so when we got further down the line in the casting process, and he had already cast first the wonderfully talented Ainsley Seeger, who is fantastic, and we did a callback, and I was nervous about it. And once she got and jumped online, I was like, oh, she's fantastic as the lead. It's great. But when he sent me the script, and I'm not going to give anything away from the opening scene, you kind of get like, oh, wow, this guy's really going for it. He's like punching people in the gut. So that's great. But he really does. It is grounded in truth and reality, and myself and a lot of us have gone through kind of these experiences where, you know, based off of what I look like, people will have preconceived notions of maybe you're from here. And I get it a lot because I look like a lot of different people, you know, and that's cool.
He even riffed. There's like one scene where he riffs about, you know, nobody thought I was Cuban, you know?
Oh, yeah, like, yeah. Didn't you ask, like, nobody thought I was Cuban? Or something like that? Did you get
it? Yeah. Because I do. I get the spectrum, and I'm thankful for it. But I love the way that the script and how Jared approaches it. He approaches it in a humorous, and it's dark, but it's a comical way to address these real issues. And working with Jared was great. He assembled such a great cast and a great team, you know, with Ben playing the brother, and then everyone was, you know, phenomenal. But with working with Jared, he was very he allowed me to have some ideas that I felt
you had ideas? You had ideas, Phillip? What? Whoa, surprising.
I think
that's great. It's a good thing.
Because it was weird. Like I I just read the script and I'm interpreting what I think it is it, and he's letting us, and he allowed us the space to do that. I think like day one, I think was a precursor of how the shooting was going to go. I think
Yeah.
we kind of showed up and it was going well, and then there's a pivotal scene, and then I think the look on your face, we're kind of like, oh, okay, we're making a movie now.
With micro budgets, like I think crews just don't quite know
Yeah.
what they've gotten themselves into at first, and it was like we were shooting like it's like a sequence in like a forested sort of gun range area, and like we were shooting towards the end of that, this like little like quiet sort of sad scene, and I think Phillip just ends up like punching the shed, like.
I'll remember that, dude. Yes, tell me your hands hurt. Your hands hurt. They hurt. I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a little bit, but I think it was just kind of like an impulse, and we went, and I think it surprised everybody. But I was at that point, I was pretty locked in, and I think cool. Jared was cool about it. He was like, "Yeah, let's go with it." He was like, "I see where this is going," and you want to be able to work with somebody like that, and I think that especially on day one, it established trust, because we had been talking about the character before, and you can Jared's he's got a dark sense of humor, but when it's kind of leaning in the direction that I think he feels right or good, I think he'll approve it, and yeah. So
hey y'all, if you're watching this and you got a part that could fit this actor, you will not be disappointed.
Yes.
Phillip Andre Botello.
Thank you, guys.
Well, just to, I'm going to be all over the place because thinking and talking about race and casting race, we just saw Odessa Zion be cast as a Latina Jewish person, which she is not, and then that being a whole blow up. So there was a time when being ethnically ambiguous was a positive thing, but now it's like, you want to be careful with that when you're casting race, because it is important to have visibility and representation.
Yeah.
So that said, Phillip, I mean, it's you could play with that. At the same time, it's like, well, do you want to be cast in something that you're not, because that could be problematic and challenging and erasing the person that needs visibility. So but with that said, I just want to say, dude, like, again, I saw that when you started banging. I'm like, I know you just did that. I knew. I knew. I'm like, I just know this guy, and it's just so good. And the surprise, I'm sure, for the team is just like, yeah, the guys, they probably had to check his knuckles and stuff, but it was just like, yeah, dude, so freaking there, and I'm with you, and I'm like, I want to watch you, and I want to watch this guy in so many things, dude. You're so dang good,
Tony. Thank you, I appreciate it, and you're the man. And Tony's great, and he's brought me on his film. But yeah, Jared set it up. Like I said, it was casting, right? Jared, I mean, like, the person who carries the film on their back is Ainsley, and she's the one. And I'm not sure if you knew her first or how you got her first. I don't know how you did that, Jared.
I knew of Ainsley through the UNCSA Grapevine sort of thing.
What is that? Right? What is that? Oh, okay.
University of North Carolina School of the Arts. It's a little art school in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But they have a really good film program, but like a world-class like acting program at that school. I mean, I know quite a few actors from that school that have gone on to be series regulars in TV and be in films and all over the place. But I remember I kind of knew of Ainsley from school. And when I was casting it, I kind of wrote the part in mind of thinking, okay, there has to be somebody I know that is from the South, who can kind of relate to this, is, woman in her mid-20s, but also kind of can be a little have a dark side, who can kind of play that balance, and be the glue that kind of holds this crazy kebab of characters together. And Ainsley kind of just immediately popped to mind and was like, oh yeah, no, she's perfect. That's kind of exactly what I need for something like this. So then reached out to her and sent her the script, and within an hour she was like, oh, I love this, let's do it.
Within an hour, that says a lot. If she's reading a full feature film in an hour, that's dope.
I was shocked. Usually you send a script to somebody and then maybe a week later they get back to you.
Yeah. Well, I could definitely talk a lot about some of like the Easter eggs and some of the things on the
Yeah.
film, but I want to encourage people to go to it. This is episode 323 of the Brave Maker podcast. I'm Tony Gapstone. I'm based in the Bay Area, where Cinequest Film Festival will be premiering in just a few weeks. I'm with director and writer Jared Sprouse and one of the stars, Phillip Andre Botello. So if you're watching live, just jumped on Instagram or you're on YouTube, we want to encourage you to go to Cinequest and find the ticket links. They're also in the YouTube link here. If you're watching on YouTube with the Alamo Draft House links, the 15th and the 17th. Go check it out. You two will be there in person, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
great. So writing it,
Yes.
being in the South.
Mhm.
When I saw, let's see, how do I phrase this without being too spoilery? Okay, there's so many things I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil it. But you do talk about race. You do talk about race relations. You do talk about the microaggressions and things that white people and people of color in America today are dealing with, and you can't get away in your film. The friggin' flag is everywhere. The red, white, and blue. The stars and the stripes. The song. I was like, okay, yep, you are really pushing the button.
Yes.
On this.
Yes.
Why?
Well, so this is really an encapsulation of my 20s, honestly, for the most part. But one thing, as soon as you go to another country, right, you realize, like, you go to Germany, you don't see the German flag everywhere. You don't hear the German national anthem everywhere. It's like, I wake up in the morning and I hear, like, the Star Spangled Banner at, like, the Air Force Base, like, or like from the high school. Like, you can't escape it. And it's almost kind of, it's almost kind of creepy to a certain extent. I think it's good to be proud of your country, but I think we border into fascism in a lot of our society, especially in the South. There's this march drumbeat. I think that a lot of regions don't quite realize. The fact that before every sports game that we have to sing the Star Spangled Banner in the United States is odd. But I don't know. There's that.
Jared, I cannot agree with you more. You are my people. Honestly, I did a short film called Neighbor, and I did some very similar things with the flag and poking at my frustration with American culture. And I can't agree with you more. There's such weird. It's weird. Like, it feels like a little chihuahua that has the P on everything. It says American sometimes. Like, why do we have to have the flag everywhere? Why? Like, what? I don't get it. I don't. And sometimes I feel like, am I a bad American? No, I love America. I love who we are.
Yeah.
And I want our freedoms. And at the same time, I have such huge concern right now, especially for freedoms. And I think a film that can get under our skin a little bit and has, you do it in a way, again, like, again, it's a movie. It's humorous. It's satire. There's ridiculous things, funny things, again, happening in the way the film opens. One of my favorite moments was in, like, maybe the end of the second act, beginning of the third. There's a montage, fireworks, and something happens in a car. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that too. I was like, that was so great.
Yeah.
You're just, you're giving us, like, stuff to chew on. The actors are chewing on the scenery. The writing is there. The way that the film ends too. Ooh, so many good moments. But if you're not willing to have a conversation about America, this might not be a movie for you.
No.
I'm curious how it will go in the South. What do you think about that?
I think the thing, I'm really curious to see people who show up to the movie who think it's kind of a 4th of July celebration and then they're kind of smacked in the face with what the film is about. That I'm really curious about that. I've worked for, I've worked here for a long time, and I lived all over the South, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, everywhere. And that's kind of also why I didn't want it to be a specific town. It's very much this, almost a stand-in town. Like, there's no specific place. But I think it'll play well. I think we turned this into the red state, blue state country way too much. you look at Georgia. I mean, it's voting all over the place now. I mean, like I said, I mean, the South is one of the most diverse regions in the whole country, and we just don't admit that when we see, our maps come election time.
Mm.
But I think it's interesting because you and as an audience and reading it too,
Mhm.
like you mentioned it, Tony, before. Like I was reading it, I didn't know where this was going. But
Yes.
the greatest thing about Jared's writing is you just get so engrossed in what's happening. I'm not going to give anything away, but the incident that happens, it's like what can go wrong will go wrong. But it's done in a comical way. But the stakes they're so high that me as person just reading the film, I'm just immediately invested in what's going on. And when you see, the kind of choices that the lead character is making, and what that does to the people around her, it's very, very riveting to watch and to be part of. So, yeah, I just think, yeah, Jared, you're crazy, but I love it.
Well, it's always like, what's the worst thing that could happen to this character? It like within the realistic world, and it's like, all right, let's explore that.
Yeah.
That's a great reminder for writers out there. Writers, you need to push your character. It's said, I don't know who said it, somebody did in the screenwriting world, but chase your protagonist up a tree and throw rocks at them, make it really hard. And sometimes we cringe when our protagonists have to go through hard things, but we wouldn't watch it if they didn't. We wouldn't want to see everything go perfect and go right for them. When this happens and this happens and that happens, and then they make some decisions, you're like, what? No. It's good. It's good drama, and it's good as a storyteller to do that, so that your audience wants to lean in. But this is, by the way, no surprise that it's premiering in California. I think it's almost like a little bit of like premiere this film in California, because California does have a lot to say about the country right now. And so I hope this is a really fun experience for you at Cinequest in a couple of weeks. Well, let's talk about acting stuff, just in directing stuff in general. You two partnering together and working together. We have a lot of people who are doing the multi-hyphenate thing. We have actors who are auditioning, and when you get to set, just the idea of bringing characters to life, and how do you receive ideas, how do you push back, how do you challenge. Let's start with you, Phillip, because you again, Phillip, you're an actor, and you like to bring things to life, and you're reading on the page, and you're maybe doing things that are unexpected or that aren't written. So just why don't you talk about your process? Give us a little master class on how you prepare and what you do and what it looks like behind the curtain for you as a creator, bringing a character to life.
Yeah, Jared, tell us, please. How you?
No, I'm asking you, Phillip. I'm talking to you, Phillip. Actor.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times it starts on the page, and it was easy with Jared, and we had a couple phone calls. It was really great. You got a sense of where the film was going to go in the callback with Ainsley, and I could say like, oh, there's a connection, and this is going to work. He wrote this character. I won't give too much away, but he wrote a character which is very interesting. It's a very, can I just say, honorable guy. He's a what the young people would call a ride or die. And we don't see too many of those characters. And this guy, maybe to his own fault, ride or die. And so when we were having the conversations about, where this can go, and, how in depth we want him to be, I will say, without giving too much away, that the character does really care and is in love with Ainsley's character, and he's trying to protect the relationship. And we all have somebody like that. I hope you have somebody like that. If you don't, it's a good feeling to have somebody that you can call, and whatever's going on, they got your back. And that's the character that Jared wrote. So from there, I would just ask him about some of the scenes, how he would look. But a lot of the times for me, when I'm on set with the actors, with the director, Jared was great with talking with us. A lot of it happens there, and like this stuff for me, I don't really pre-plan. It kind of happens in the moment on set. I'm with Ainsley, I'm with Sahara, I'm with Ben, I'm with all these wonderful people, and then that's when it kind of happens. But it's good to note that Jared made a safe space for us to play and to try things, not to just, he wasn't, if things weren't going his way, which is a sign of a good director, he would ask it in a way where he would get the thing that he wanted. which is important to talk with. Everyone's so different, and
Mhm.
with director, you're just managing different people's personalities, man.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure
So
are.
not to put too much pressure on Jared, but who was most difficult to work with, Jared? No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. But it's so I for me, because I try to help. I'm trying to help the director. I want to be the
Yeah.
director's
Mhm.
his pal, and I champion the director. So I want to cover him too, and I want to just take this character and make him as alive as possible. And Jared can always cut back or go, Matt, we don't need that. But I'd rather have more than
Mhm.
than less. And but you need the space to do that, and Jared provided that, and Ainsley provided that, and Ben and Sahar. So everyone was very, very great, and our crew was great. So for me, that's kind of where it is. But it starts like day one with Jared, and we're kind of feeling it out, and I'm like, okay, he's down. He's down to go as far as we want to go, and he'll pull me back. And the way he talked to us, you could tell that he's directed before, and he's probably worked with some crazy people as well before. So he
Yes.
knows how
Yes.
to phrase things to actors, especially when he wants something. So
Philip,
that's
I want to know a little bit about the process. So you said you don't prepare a lot of stuff. You show up and let it happen on set. Talk a little bit more about that, because you're talking about being reactive and just being in the moment, being present, right? So I'm a director too, and I teach acting, and everybody's got to find their own style.
Yeah.
And I think that's so interesting that what works for you isn't going to work for me. What works for me won't work for you. But there are some actors who are like, okay, and this is the work of a director too. What does every actor need? Because some actors are like, okay, they want to talk through everything. They want to ask a lot of questions. Other actors are like, they show up, they do their thing, and then they're like, if you want something different, you'll tell me, right? So for you, when you get a script, you read it. Do you do any kind of writing? Do you do any kind of for me, I like to put the wardrobe on, and I like to kind of walk around in that character. I like to think about their gait, meaning do they walk on their heels or tiptoe. What are some things that you do when you're prepping a character?
That's a great question. I won't take too much time talking about it, but the thing, I have this weird thing where it's like this. I won't read a full script until I'm offered it, because if I read the whole thing, then I feel like I'm obligated to play it. I feel like through osmosis, now I've been like somehow sucked in or inhabited the words and the feelings, and now it's just waiting to get out. So I won't read something the whole way through unless I get offered the part, because once I get offered it, then it's ready. So the first thing to do is like get off book. That's the first thing I do. I read the script, read the script, read the script. I will improv some stuff as Jared, but
Yes.
I get off book as fast as possible, and I'll have a conversation with the director. Are you married to the words? And I think Jared was like, there's some things that I definitely want to hit, and these things have to be said, and then other things not so much. So there's room to play. So after that's done, then I just kind of dive into who this person is, and I think about trying to get what I want as the character, and I don't try to pre-plan anything. I have an idea of my intention in the scene, but a lot of it, I find that I'm better if I don't pre-plan how I'm going to do something, how I'm going to say something. It's just in trying to be there in the moment, because as an actor, you'll get a script and it'll say this script is in a phone booth, and then so you're practicing this thing in a phone booth, and then you get on set and they're like, oh, we changed it, now you're in a tank. So it could mess you up if you were like, oh, well, I practiced it this way. So you need a level of you can't be too much married to the thing. Just know the material, because it was, I think, I can't remember what, Jared, but there's a couple of things that got switched around where it's like, we're doing this now, we'll
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
now you can. And I've seen actors, and I've seen bigger actors have a meltdown, or they can't process it.
Yeah,
So
you're right, because they're too attached. They get too attached to, this is how I planned it, this is what it should look like, now we're going somewhere else and I can't pivot. And they get stuck and froze.
Which is also a great sign of a director, Jared, because things were thrown at him. And this guy, and this is how you know, because I've heard from really great directors, if the house is burning, we don't know. Jared will not let us know that. The actors, at least.
Yeah.
He's got a good, and I saw it in real time. I don't know, I want to talk to him. I don't know if I could say, but we had a rep maybe was threatening to shut us down maybe one day. I don't know if I could say too much. Because of a certain stunt or something. And a lot of people were like, this is gonna mess up the shot. This is gonna do everything bad. And Jared was so cool, calm and collected, and he was like, okay, yeah, well, let me just give me a couple minutes. I'll figure something out. And he did.
Mhm.
And I was
Mhm.
like, this is a very good skill for you to have, because in a film, what can go wrong will go wrong. It's a
Yeah,
matter of
yeah,
like how willing are you to adapt. In the same way as I try to tell actors, I'm like, know the material, but don't try to practice how you're gonna do things, because it's gonna change. And you know what I'm telling you, I've what once was a scene in like, oh, this is on the couch, we're like, well, now it's gonna be in the shower. And you're like,
yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
hmm
So you gotta adjust. So that's my preparation. I know the material backwards and forwards. I know it
Yeah,
enough
good.
to deviate from it. And yeah, and my, you know, my talks with the directors will inform that. But a lot of it is on the day with Ainsley, with Ben, with Sahara, with the camera, with Jared, and you know, checking in with him. And it was cool. Sometimes he would say, yeah, I like this, give it, make it hotter. He's like, oh, maybe less on this. So yeah, it was great. But that's kind of my preparation that I've learned. And this is the last thing I'll say about it. It's to help the directors, you know, because I know some directors, if they want to talk a lot about a character beforehand, we do that, and some don't. And this is I won't say the director was a wonderful director, and this is the something he said to me earlier on in my career. He said, "Hey, thank you for coming prepared and with ideas, because here's something that maybe a director will tell you. I don't know all the answers,
Mhm.
so if you present some for me, I can choose." So I was like, "Oh."
Woo!
So I always try to do that for the director, and they can, you know, because sometimes, you know,
hmm
Jared will tell you he's doing 100, and you too, Tony. There's 100 things you're thinking about, and
Yeah.
some for some directors, it's hard if an actor's like, "Hey, my shoes are supposed to be green. I think they might be red here." Blah blah blah. And
Mhm.
some, you know, sometimes
hmm
that's a good conversation. Sometimes that's beforehand. For me, it's always like, as long as it doesn't eat up time, you know. But so, and Jared could talk more about that, and you too, Tony. Like, who are the kind of actors that you want to work with? Do you want to work with
Yeah.
somebody who's ready to go, or do you want to work with someone who stops the take and is like, "Hey, man," and you're like, we're eating up time. We're
Yeah.
so, but
I
that's
could
kind of
I,
my
I could talk
process.
about this stuff all day. I think it's so
Yeah,
great. I think process is so important. And you know, this is harsh, but I think so many actors aren't prepared, and they're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
serious. Like, they need to hear the Logan Roy. Like, these are not serious people.
Yeah.
Actors, if
Yeah.
you are not spending time on your craft. Actors, if you are not in classes. Actors, if you are not reading and podcasting and looking at scripts, and even if you don't have a role, creating something for yourself. Like, if you are not actively booking things, well, the question is, okay, why not? But don't wait for someone else to book you. Make
Yeah.
things happen. And Philip, I know you are working like crazy all the time, and I think it's because momentum begets momentum. And what I love, this film, you are so different than what you're in my film. You're playing this blue collared guy in the South, and then, you know, in my film, you're this guy from Oakland. You know, this drug dealer pimp from Oakland. So the beautiful thing
clapping around
about
people.
acting, yeah, it's just beautiful. Acting is, again, it is that it's creating all these new characters. I'm having fun with it, and
Yeah.
you're bringing so much to the table. And a director, I'm sure, Jared, please talk about it. A director is like, what a gift to be able to
Yeah,
have
but
have
you should
options.
what Tony is saying, you should
Yeah.
talk about, like, for the actors, like, what you guys, who are the type of performers you want to work with, and when's the time and place to ask questions when it's not eating up time. And because everything that I do, I base it on that, like on the day, and working with directors and going like, okay, I need to be an asset to the director. So you guys should please talk about that. Like,
Yeah, I always think it's a balance. I have there were times on this film, sometimes you come up with a shot list, right? You come in and you're like, okay, so we're gonna do, angle 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's kind of the blocking in your head, but the actor has a different opinion, right? And it's not necessarily trying, you don't want to dismiss their opinion instantly, because then everything they brought to you is out the window, and all the work that they did, and you're kind of dismiss and uh, uh, rude, right? So it's trying to figure out, why are they coming from that conclusion? All right, let's figure out. Maybe we incorporate. Maybe I chuck out the entire shot list I just had, and we rearrange it because their point is legitimate. Maybe I'm not thinking about it from that character's perspective. It's a little different as a writer director than just a director, because I can chuck a line out instantly and not feel bad about it because I wrote it, right? Sometimes that would just be the case, and yeah, yeah.
I gotta hand it to you that's making a film is juggling so many hot plates while people are also ordering, from
Yes.
the dining room, and chefs are going, we're out of this, we're out of that. And it's like running a restaurant. It is wild. It's chaos, it's organized chaos. And you always have to expect things are going to go wrong.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to go with the flow and figure things out. And I really appreciate if a director is like, hey, collaboratively, we're all here to solve the problem and to tell the story and to have fun. Like, we're living our dreams, everybody. Let's have fun, So I think you to beautifully wrap around all of the different personalities takes, it's not easy. It takes a real certain personality, and a director needs to have vision. It needs to be a therapist at times, and a teacher, and a friend, and all these different things. So, and you made a movie, you made a feature film, which not everybody can do. So huge kudos to you for doing that. As we wrap up our time, is there anything else you want to say that just kind of like, oh, I got to get this out. I got to mention this. I got to make sure people hear this part of the filmmaking process before we end the podcast today?
I guess I always think the directors they're like the first viewer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're sitting there, behind the camera or behind monitor, it's like trying to watch something for the first time, and so you're piecing these 30 different things all into your brain about how's this going to all edit together, how's it with the music and with the you mentioned the song too early on, maybe it was a little rambly, but working in like hospitality, that there's playlists if you worked at a restaurant, if you worked in retail.
I worked in both. Yep.
That there's that song that comes on, and it sends you through the roof, right?
Yeah.
And so I that was kind of very much the inspiration. I was like, what if I just adapt that in with the Star Spangled Banner? And
yeah, it was so smart. It was so smart.
Yeah.
I worked both in a restaurant and in a clothing store in a mall. And just the other day, I was going to get coffee. I get the same every Sunday morning. I stop for coffee at the same place. And I got out of my car just this week, and I noticed, oh my gosh, they have a playlist going outside. And I came out at the same time that I hear this Janet Jackson song. I miss you much, love you, whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the same song I've heard multiple times because I come around the same time. Wow.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, you put that in there, and to think like somebody could really lose their mind hearing the same song, dealing with grief and all the other factors that they're going on. That was super fun and super smart. And my
composer was great too, because I was like, I need all the songs to fill out like the party store here. And he's like, well, they're like basically any Americana song you've ever heard is royalty free.
Yeah.
Right. So he basically was like, all right, let's put in Yankee Doodle. She'll be coming around the mountain, like all the, but like doing these like really dorky versions, and like putting it in there, because initially I was thinking maybe I don't need score. There is some score, in the film, but it's very much to emphasize the dramatic moments, right, within the film.
Well, kudos. Go see what we're talking about. Cinequest Film Festival is happening in Mountain View at the Alamo Drafthouse, which if you've never been to an Alamo Drafthouse, you need to go to an Alamo Drafthouse. It's super cool, good food, fun vibe. And excuse me, these two will be there talking about it, doing a question and response time after, get a red carpet moment with them, and just have a good old time. Support independent film. Support film festivals. As someone who has a film festival, see movies in theater, everybody. This is really, really important to our business and to our to the entertainment industry. And people are saying, I'm here for Bobby. People are in the comments. Thanks for being in the comments, everybody. We're glad that you're here. And we're gonna end. I don't know if I told you this or if you got this automation, but I like to hear what is one of your favorite things of the week.
Brave faves. TV shows, films, books, songs, technology, clothing, podcast, food, and more. These are a few of our favorite people, places, and things. Brave faves.
All right, guys. Favorite thing of the week can be anything, can be food, can be a person, can be a TV show. What you got? What's your favorite thing of the week? Phillip, we'll start with you.
Favorite thing of the week is probably my partner. I do a lot of a lot of stuff, and it's good to have somebody like a Damien in Party USA who's a ride or die. So someone to you guys know last minute tapes at 12 a.m. callbacks. So thank you to my partner, my acting partner. I appreciate it. Like it doesn't go unnoticed that I'm here because of them. So that's what I'll say.
Right on. Good acting partner, a good friend, a good person who's there for you. Awesome. What you got, Jared?
I saw Send Help.
I want to see that. Yeah.
It's great.
Okay.
It's great. Just the fact that we can get like an original Sam Raimi film in theaters.
Yeah.
You just don't. I just want to see more, less franchises, more of that, please.
and my favorite thing of the week will be a franchise. I apologize, but I am a Scream ride or die, and I know there is a lot of thoughts and conversations around this right now because of how things went down in the making of Scream 7. I will miss Melissa Barrera for sure, but I am a ride or die for Neve Campbell, and I got my tickets for tomorrow. I went to the mansion. They filmed the original 30 years ago in Northern California, so I went to the Mocker House a couple months ago because my friend was the stand-in for Neve Campbell on Scream 1. So this was my gateway into horror. I love horror because of Scream. So that's my favorite thing of the week. I cannot wait to go see this tomorrow. I'm taking my almost 18-year-old, no, she's 18, almost 19-year-old daughter to see it because I got her hooked on it as well. So very fun, full circle. Movies, y'all. Movies. And people, movies and people. Those are our favorite things of the week. All right, you guys. Well, I wish you amazing things on your premiere this week. I hope I'll see you since I already saw them. I already saw the movie, but I want to come and see and drop in. And I love Cinequest and everything that they do. So yeah, kudos, you guys. Congratulations, and on to the next project, whatever it is. Bravemaker's here to help celebrate and support you. If we can do anything, let me know.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks, Tony.
All right, guys.
Bravemaker. You guys are awesome.
You got it. All right, take care. Everybody else, thank you so much for watching or listening, however you're finding this. This was episode 323 with writer-director of Party USA and the actor Phillip Andre Botello. Want to encourage you to follow them on their social media. They are linked on our social media and on this YouTube channel here. So support indie film and cast them, write with them, partner with them, finance their next stuff. This is what we all want to be about here at Bravemaker. And also keep in mind, you meet people at film festivals, go to film festivals that you could be working with. You never know. I live by that mantra, but I also am strategically and intentionally trying to build relationships with good people and creative people. And I often see them at film festivals on the screen. I've booked so many people after watching their film going, oh, I want to book that actor because I saw them on the big screen. I have so many stories like that. So go to the Cinequest Film Festival, come to the Bravemaker Film Festival. And finally, April 11th is our first ever multi-hyphenate summit in Redwood City, California. We have Steve Canals, creator of Pose. We have so many other cool writer, director, actor, producers, multi-hyphenates talking to you all day long about working in the entertainment industry as a multi-hyphenate. We're very, very excited for you to be aware of that. Go to our website at bravemaker.com for more information. All right, that's all I got. Thanks so much. See you next week. I have 2 episodes happening back-to-back on next Thursday, happening both at 10 a.m. Pacific time and 11 a.m. Pacific time, including another feature filmmaker from Cinequest. I like Cinequest and I like filmmakers. All right. That's all I got, y'all. I'll see you soon. Brave stories change the world. And you know how we say it. You are the story. See y'all next time.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at bravemaker.org. Like, subscribe, and share. To become a monthly donor, text the word Bravemaker to 44321 or go to bravemaker.com/donate. Thanks for tuning in.